Markus from Omnium Gatherum, and you are watching Loud TV.
Hello guys, we are with Markus Vanhala, from Omnium Gatherum.
Yes,
I met you last year, or maybe it was this year with Insomnium.
every year, somewhere with somebody.
It was for the anniversary of this amazing. But you played also with Omnium Gatherum in Paris, Le
Yeah, yeah.
Trabango.
Double duty. So,
Yeah, and you're always on tour, actually, right?
yeah, yeah. Except today.
Except today.
But yeah, that Paris, that tour we did in January, that was something special because it was both bands celebrating the old records, which were really dear and for us, like beyond for Omnium Gatherum and Shadows of the Dying Sun for Insomnium. Both were like special albums, which kind of like milestone albums for us, which put our bar higher in the crowd. So celebrating those albums was really special. Together with the both bands, of course, it was hard for me to play double duty, which I don't like. Even people think I want to play 2 shows per night, but it's never my idea.
And 30 years this year, Omnium Gatherum.
Yes,
Does
that's
it
a
feel?
lot. But I was a kid when I formed the band. I was in 8th grade in school, so it's crazy. I never thought when I was 14 it's gonna take this long. But I'm happy to be here still with this band and as a human being also, of course.
Do you still feel a young Finnish guy?
I haven't felt young for ages anymore, but when it comes to writing music and band business, I still feel like that young kid. Otherwise, I would not be doing this because there's more easier ways to live your life than playing in a band for your whole life. But I still love it. This is what I do. Actually, today we had Insomnium productional day. We were rehearsing and producing the new album stuff, and we went after work beers for my local bar, Sam's Pub in Karhula, and I'm still here. And luckily, the guys from the bar, because I'm here every now and then, being 25 years, so I'm at the backstage of Sam's Pub with all these beer cans.
So you can drink for free.
That I cannot drink from those cans. Then they would be angry, unfortunately. This is Finland.
Yeah, and especially I was in Finland 2 years ago, and beer is super expensive.
Yeah. It's expensive and unlawful, and I don't know how they even can sell it because Finnish alcohol laws are like a joke.
Yeah. By the way, how's the Insomnium album? Is it great? The next one? Yeah.
It's coming alive as we speak, so it will come. At the moment, it's in baby steps, but it's starting to sound like there's actually going to be a new Insomnium album, which is it's always a mystery, but now I can say it.
Yeah.
We are on our way.
And speaking about Omnium Gatherum, do you still rehearse together? Do you write together as like in the 90s?
Of course, not like in the 90s, because everything was different in the 90s. There was no there was no even computers when we started this. We just used these cheap ass stereo boom boxes, which has like internal microphone, and we did like all the rehearsal recordings via them and all the demoing. So it's a bit different nowadays because it's so easy to do songs at home and demo them ready, and all the demos nowadays are sounding better than our albums in the early 2000s. But it's a different story. But Omnium Gatherum is still a band. We think ourselves like we are rock band. We still rehearse. We don't use backing tracks. Omnium Gatherum has always been like the brotherhood in the band, and we like to rehearse. We like to hang around as a band, as a friends. So that's the important thing. We are still keeping together in Omnium Gatherum.
Yeah. Okay. After listening to this new album, I felt a huge works on the guitars. It's the sound of the guitars is simply amazing. Maybe thanks to Jens Bogren and Tommy Linger.
Yeah. And Juho Räihä, who recorded the guitars, he's my trusted guy. Juho from Swallow the Sun. This was now the third or fourth time I was working with. We did I Am the Night album with Juho. Then we did Cemetery Skyline album and Omnium Gatherum Slasher. So this was the fourth time I was working with Juho, recording my guitars, and we feel ourselves. We have our souls are together when it comes to recording guitars, and Juho exactly knows. It doesn't matter what band or project it is. He knows what I'm after, and we did well with Juho this time. And this album, this was special. Of course, it's 10th album, so it have to be special. There's not so many bands that are doing 10 albums in its career, and so it felt special, and we felt this album have to be more like a milestone for us, and it's more like fast forward Omnium Gatherum, like we were back in the days. It's way faster than Origin, because after we released Origin, I felt it's a bit too mid-tempo. It's not kicking enough to your balls. So that was idea number one on making this album. And at the same time, this is really guitar-oriented album.
Yes.
Like I've composed this album with guitar now. I've been experimenting my ways with albums in the near past with keyboards and drum machines and stuff like that. But this is really guitar-oriented album, and it's really hard to play. I really had to I had to refresh my chops for recording this album, because this is really like a guitar album. Really difficult riffs, difficult solos, at least in my humble level that I'm working. So,
and which I like the duality with clean guitars and very very strong metal riffs, and I like the duality. It's a trademark of Omnium Gatherum, but I feel it's a highlight on this album.
Thanks. It's the paradox of my musical taste, is because I like three most important genres for me is 90s death metal, death, Morbid Angel, and then 80s hard rock, whatever, Van Halen, Winger, you name it, Iron Maiden also, of course, and 70s prog rock like Yes and Genesis. So that's my musical DNA. And sorry, I of course forget from the 80s hard rock Def Leppard, which is guitar production wise one of my most important influences. Like Def Leppard Hysteria, that's pretty much where all this non-death metal things I use in Omnium Gatherum, which is like distorted guitars with some clean guitars on top of like a doubling the riffs. That comes from Mutt Lange and Def Leppard.
Yeah, we can feel also these influences, except death metal, on the Cemetery Skyline album, which was for me splendid, as I told to Santeri, splendid album, and with the voice of Michael. It's yeah, I love this album, and I hope there will be a second album in the future.
Thank you. And I can promise there will be a second album. It's already highly into works.
Great.
This band became like a thing of straight from the heart.
Yeah.
It was a really important album for me to do, and we did 4 years that album, and now we already have like a bunch of songs.
Great.
A lot of songs, but the second album, Cemetery Skyline, have to be really fucking good, because the first album is, I think, even I'm Finnish, I'm a little tipsy at the moment, but as a Finnish guy who never posts anything, I can say like the Cemetery Skyline first album is really fucking good. So the second album will be none less.
Great. We can't wait. How many tracks did you record on guitars on this new Omnium Gatherum? Because yeah, again, the sound is so powerful on the guitars that it's
Uh,
like a wall of riffs.
it is a lot. It is a lot. I cannot remember, but we doubled things a lot, and we used like a old school equipment, like a then it's full of like old school tube amps, Mesa Boogie EVH 5150 diesel custom built tube amps and real cabinets. So we didn't use any software guitars, which are hip today, but I am not hip. So it's real deal. So, and we did quite a lot.
Great. Let us know about the concept of this album. Let's remind, yeah, that Yuka uh, uh, wrote the lyrics, and Yuka, your singer, recorded also with the famous Bjorn from Soilwork, and
Beautiful Björn.
yeah, Bjorn is so amazing, and I know he's a really good teacher. So, from your point, what what was the most significative thing in the vocals?
Well, we actually, this time, Jukka's been always writing the lyrics for Omnium Gatherum, but this time we had a lot of talks about the concept that it had to be something that touches us all people. And then we had this concept of like a street life, which the whole album is about street life.
Yeah.
And there's a huge dose of 90s nostalgia in the street life. Because when we were kids, of course, we were hanging out in the streets. Everything happened in the streets before mobile phones and internet. And we met our friends there, and we got our first kisses there, and we skateboarded and bicycled, and then raced with cars in the late 90s in the streets. And that's where the spark for this album came. It's mainly because so much things, there was like death in the families of me and Jukka, like our parents died, and it makes you think like you are not forever young, because we are getting old, and that's a fact. So that's why we get this kind of like trip to the nostalgia lane with this album, like thinking like where we came from, like the band is turning to 30 years old, which is insanely long amount of time, and that's how we came up with this concept of singing from the streets, and the good and the bad and the ugly that happens in the streets and the beautiful.
Yeah.
But vocal wise, then I just Björn Street is my good friend from the road, as always. I'm always on the road, so I met people on the road, not not at my home, which I do also. But like then I noticed from the social media that Björn produced the vocals from the new Haunted album, and I immediately asked Björn like, "What the fuck are you doing production for the bands nowadays?" And Björn was like, "Yeah," and I immediately booked him like, I fucking love your stuff, like everything you do, like Nightlight Orchestra, Soilwork,
Yeah.
you name it. And from clean vocals to aggressive, extreme vocals. And it was so insanely cool to work with him. He's so nice guy. He knows what he's doing. He learned our stuff. And then I actually ended up doing all the clean vocals for the album. I've always been a background singer for Insomnium and Omnium Gatherum. And on this album, I made all the clean vocals because Björn just said like, no, you do it. This sounds good. And then I was like, okay, now I'm just like a clean solo singer, which I am not. I'm a guitar player, but it turned out fine. And that's how amazing Björn is to work with. You are not afraid of him. Like bad producer is like you are afraid of him, like this guy sucks, but Björn was like full of love and gets the best out of you. And At the same time, Jukka also, of course, sounds like the most angry he's ever been. But that's only through the love of Björn Street.
Yeah.
There was no anger in the studio. It was just pure joy. But somehow, through joy, Björn got the most angry Jukka out of himself.
And so you're talking about towns, and you lived in Karula, right? This is where you live.
I'm at the Karhula at the moment.
Okay. So
That's it. Kotka is the main city. It's 100 kilometers to east from Helsinki in the coast, like a coastal town in the sea.
Okay, so it's I would say an average city, so to speak.
Yeah. The normal Finnish
Town.
multi-capital city.
Yeah.
50,000 people living here, but that's like most of the Finnish cities because there is not many of us Finns, you know.
So what about the city? Is it, yeah, there are both sides, right? It's like a beautiful city, and at the same time it's like the way of all the maybe dangers.
I'm living in Finland, so Finland is never dangerous. It's like pretty much the most safest place on earth, to be honest. But yeah, at the same time, like I'm born and raised here, and I've never wanted to go to a big city. It's only like 1 hour to Helsinki. I see enough like a big city nights when I'm touring, which is always. So I just cherish this my little hometown, like this really beautiful landscape, a lot of forests, the sea, so much nice people. All the nice people I need are here, and but at the same time, of course, growing to these modern times, like there's so much like most of my, not most of my, but like
Some.
well, quite a lot of my childhood friends, they got wasted with drugs and alcohol and destroyed themselves because also living in a small city makes you do it, drink yourself to death on. But somehow I survived with metal.
Yeah.
That's a cliche.
Yeah.
I formed a metal band and I survived. That make me drink beer, but at the same time, it saved me from alcoholism, which is a paradox, I think. But it gave me something else to do than just drink.
And there is a song called "The Darker City" in this album. So for you, what is the darkest city?
The darkest city. That song is more like a metaphor, which I've learned from Jukka. It's about like some dark place, whatever it be. It can be like Gotham City or whatever. Yeah. It can be Kotka or it can be your city, because shit happens in every city. But at the same time, the darkest city, the cities, it tells a story about yourself. Like your veins are the roads and you are the city, and shit happens, and that's it. I'm not a lyricist. I'm really bad on answering these questions of the deeper meanings of the lyrics, but that's how I felt. Like shit happens. It doesn't matter where you are, and in your body in New York City or in Kotka here or whatever.
Okay.
Every city has like the dark sides and the good sides, and it's only about yourself, which you are left reflecting. It's like so many people are always saying like I'm living in a bad neighborhood. I don't like this city. This city makes me sick and stuff like that. But it's never about that. It's always about yourself.
Yeah.
And then you are the darkest city.
Yeah. Like I kind of feel sometimes Paris in France is a very dark city, but it has also
the city of love at the same time.
At the same time, so there is always this duality, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've always noticed that some people are never happy It doesn't matter where they are.
especially in France.
Finland, same,
Okay.
whatever. The moon, probably. The Mars is having the same problems with the aliens, but never blame your foods. It's inner peace is here. If you're not happy with your city, then
Yeah. I know I can understand the meaning. So you're going to visit a lot of cities, uh,
also Paris.
also Paris next year. Uh, this would be a headlining tour, right?
Yeah, we're actually starting in 2 weeks from the USA. We are starting with an album release shows. First time ever will be in international waters. So nobody cannot be jealous. Like you didn't play in my country or your country. We are playing in international waters between Finland and Sweden in the Helsinki Metal Cruise.
Great.
That's the first show, which is really fucking cool way to start the album cycle. I dig it. And then we are heading straight after that to USA and Canada, making our headliner tour with support bands Ether Realm and Hinayana, which I both love. Then we are doing around in Finland with Rabbit Cult, which is a really fucking cool new girl band from Finland. They're dressed up like bunnies.
Cool.
So that's going to be nice January fun. And then we are heading to European tour and their support band. That's a really cool lineup. I love it. My really good buddies of In Morning from Sweden are opening, and Fallujah from USA is direct support. So all the Paris people should come to see that show.
Yeah, it's very, and so I think you're going to play in Le Petit Bain. Le Petit Bain. So
The boat.
yeah, you will play on the boat again.
Been there a few times.
Yeah.
It's not as big as 70,000 tons of metal boat, but it's a boat still.
Yeah, you'll play this one in late January, right?
Yeah. Within Omnium Cemetery Skyline, we are in the 70,000 tons of whatever.
I saw yesterday because I saw not yesterday, but 2 days ago, Amorphis. They went tour with Arch Enemy, and there was the poster of the 70 tons of metal, and I saw all these bands like Soilwork, Soen that I interviewed this morning.
Nice.
It's the album and the guys are super amazing. So this lineup of 70,000 of metal is it's really great, and
that's gonna be like a class reunion with like a Insomnium Cemetery Skyline, Soilwork, Dark Tranquility, Amorphis, like all the body bands. It's gonna be long nights.
And there is a song also in your album that's called like bridge to, you're going to burn a bridge or something like this. I can't remember the burning bridges
may the bridges we burn light the way.
This remind me that actually a super album from Arch Enemy, Burning Bridges.
Yeah. There's two same words. And it's about burning bridges, but like that's the album title. May the bridges we burn light the way. It's like a pseudonym of the good old "Let me kill me, sir" word. Don't let the bastards make you down. Because the older we get, the more people there's always thinking like you suck, and then it doesn't matter if it's your whatever people you've never met or your business partners, but there's always these people that there's always this stuff left next to the road.
Yeah.
The things didn't work or whatever. Always people get upset, especially in the 2020.
Yeah.
And about these little things. And that's pretty much what the album title is about. Like, don't let that's just make you down. Just empower yourself through that. And don't care about what other people say. If you have clean hands, like my hands are clean heart, and you are doing what you want and you don't harm anyone in your road. If people get upset, then may it enlighten your way.
Okay. So to speak, there could be bridges near the place you play in Paris to burn if
Let's burn it. It's so 90s to burn churches. Now let's burn bridges.
Thank you, Markus.
Thank
very much.
you, Johan, my friend.
Yeah, and see you next year in Paris.
Le petit bain.
Le petit bain, exact.